to beat Everton here in a competitive match. The teams are lined up down below us. Everton blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks, and Tottenham in their first choice colours of white with the dark blue trim, dark blue shorts and white socks. It is the no room for racism fixture in this stadium in this round of matches, and the players drop to their knees, then back up, then the whistle is blown by Craig Pawson, and Tottenham kick off as they play from left to right, and James Tarkowski on the edge of his penalty area clears it away downfield. And it is my first experience here, Sue Smith, as we've been discussing, and with the sound system they have inside the new stadium, I have never heard the Z-Cars theme as loud as that.
It was so loud, wasn't it?
That was something else.
It really was, so difficult to hear. And I think that's the atmosphere that obviously Everton want to try and portray and make it difficult for those away teams to come and play against them.
Yeah, it really sent tingles down the spine as Pickford sends a long pass downfield, but it bounces all the way through to Vicario at the other end. Run you through the team news in full again, just in case you've just joined us. You might have been one of the earlier matches, just got back into your car. Tottenham playing the ball again back to Vicario. And we'll run you through the teams once we get back from Kenny Crawford at Rangers.
72 minutes gone, Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1, and it's something Everton fans didn't see much of. A goal from Yusuf Chermiti, picked it up 25 yards out, blasted it, and Eddie Beach cut a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. Rangers 1, Kilmarnock 3. Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1.
He must have only just come on, Kenny.
He's just on about 2 minutes, and that's exactly what he needed. He's had a lot of sticks since he joined.
Well, there we are. So Rangers, it would seem quite possibly heading for their first win under Danny Röhl. Here, Everton 0, Tottenham 0, and here is Grealish for the first time. Grealish playing it down the left-hand side, and in comes across from the left, but it's cleared away by Danso. It was swung over by Mikalenko. Tottenham just struggling to get it away on the edge of the penalty area, headed forward by Michael Keane. But then Simons is able to take it up, although O'Brien does well, strong against Simons. That was excellent, winning it back from Simons.
Oh, they started really positively, Everton. We know that they can play through the thirds if they need to, but they've gone direct a couple of times and nearly got in with Mikalenko, combined well with Jack Grealish, but maybe just overhit his cross. Grealish was the option.
Yeah, Grealish is right out here. It's the classic, his heels are on the white line. Grealish on the left flank. Oh, that's a lovely reverse pass as well to Mikalenko. Already, you know, how long have we played? 2 minutes. Already a couple of touches, which suggests to me, Sue, that Grealish is very much at home here.
He is, and they look to play to him at every opportunity. They try and create space for him.
Now it's Ndiaye on the other side, Ndiaye with a cross. Oh, Beto! And then Grealish with a chance. It's blocked on the line. Still inside the penalty area, and that's sliced up and over the top by Dewsbury Hall, and Everton so close to taking the lead. Grealish arriving on that. Remember in the last match here, Grealish scored right at the end to win the match against Crystal Palace, and there I thought for all the world he was going to score an early goal in this one.
Oh, so did I. It's really good play from Everton. We said Ndiaye and Jack Grealish are going to be so key in this Everton side. Ndiaye does brilliant on the right-hand side, beats his man, gets the delivery to Beto. Beto misses it, falls to Grealish at the far post and can't quite get enough power and precision on that shot, and they managed to block it off the line. Yeah, it was Pedro Porro who was the Tottenham player in the 6-yard box. You know, he could have gone for a position there, couldn't he, Grealish, but it came at him very quickly. He went for power and hoped that the power would take it into the net, but the calf, I think it was the right calf of Pedro Porro, was sturdy enough to keep it out. It was actually really good positioning, wasn't it, from Porro? He knew what was happening, he had his body open, so he knew where Jack Grealish was.
So it is 0-0 after Grealish and his near thing. Everton with Pickford in goal. O'Brien, Tarkowski the captain, Keane and Mikalenko are the back four, Garner and Gay, then Ndiaye, Dewsbury Hall and Grealish with Beto up front. And Tottenham, who are in possession at the moment, you can hear their supporters in their section. It's been all Everton so far in terms of the noise, but the Spurs supporters making themselves heard. Be their first trip here, of course, as well. Vicario in goal for Tottenham. Porro, Danso, Captain Van de Ven and Spence, Bentancur and Palhinha, then Kudus, Simons, Brennan Johnson and Kolo Muani. Randall Kolo Muani, who is starting Sue as the central striker. In Monaco, you were telling me before the match, he came on and played in that role.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how he fares.
Yeah, and I actually thought he did well when he came on. He held the ball up well. His movement was very good, and they'll be looking for more of that today. The likes of Tell and Richarlison haven't really done it.
Oh, excellent from Bentancur. Bentancur into the box, drives it across, comes back to him, rattles around, and it's cleared away. Cleared away by O'Brien in the end on the edge of the 6-yard box. Excellent play from Bentancur. Well, the early play in this match, it's very, very promising. Now we've seen something from Spurs for the first time. Everton have had all week to prepare for this match, whereas Tottenham have been to Monaco, to Monte Carlo and back. I'm not sure you could get too much of more of a contrast from the Côte d'Azur and Monte Carlo to here on the northwest coast of England, and we are right on the water here. We're in the west stand, so the Mersey, the River Mersey, is behind us. I mean, it's a goal kick away, the waters of the Mersey, as the ball is fired forward for Tottenham. Takes a glance all the way through to Pickford, who's able to pick it up. And it is a stormy day as well. Glowering clouds above the stadium here, and you can see the rain clouds blowing into the stadium as Grealish is brought down 10 yards inside his own half. Grealish took it, but Pedro Porro was in with a challenge. He was late there as well, Porro. The ball had gone, and I'm not sure that referee Paulson is going to take any action against Pedro Porro in terms of a yellow card, but that was late.
Yeah, it was. I think he's just spoken to him, hasn't he? And that's what Jack Grealish does so well. He just uses his body, and Porro does come in late, catches him on the ankle, doesn't he?
I think he is very fortunate to get away without a yellow card for that. Pickford, new contract now, just like James Tarkowski. Two important players for Everton who've signed new contracts this month, two of the most experienced, as Danso goes all the way back to Vicario in the goal down to our left. We're right up at the back of the stand here, but as has been discussed, the stands are so steep. It is an excellent viewing point. And here comes Jed Spence, one of the New England men, down the left-hand side, powering on, but O'Brien does well against him, turns and is able to put it out of play for a throw-in for Simons. It's going to be very interesting, I think, to see how this new front line for Tottenham works today. Kolo Muani is making his first start for Tottenham. 3 substitute appearances so far, but he's in the middle, and right now it is Johnson on the right, and Kudus is in more of a central area.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite fluid, John. If I'm honest, I think they will change round. I think they'll rotate, and certainly the pace that they've got will cause Everton's backline problems. They've not got the quickest centre-back pairing. Yes, they're good defenders, but on the turn. So I think they will float around. But yeah, at the moment, Brennan Johnson, he's certainly hugging the right-hand touchline. Yeah,
so you've got Bentancur and Palhinha in the middle, and then forward of those two, it's Simons and Kudus, and Johnson very much on the right wing as the ball's played over the top now for Kudus to chase, but that'll bounce all the way through to Pickford. So I think it's interesting. Tottenham fans, I'm sure, will be fascinated to see how this works out. And so Matthijs Tell, only a substitute today, and Richarlison as well. I wonder how he received that news, Richarlison, when he was told he wasn't going to be starting this match. As the ball's played forward for Everton, it bounces down centrally, and Palhinha played out to the right-hand side. Johnson gets a touch on that. Pedro Porro's behind him. Still 0-0 if you just joined us on 5 Live. So at the top of the Premier League now, Arsenal will be liking the look of it. They've got a 4-point lead at the top, ahead of second-placed Bournemouth, 2-0 winners against Nottingham Forest. So Arsenal top, Bournemouth second, and Sunderland third. As Palhinha plays it, an aerial ball which is headed away, comes out to Kudus. Kudus evades the challenge that comes in on him, then a little ball to Kolo Muani, and then Simons inside the penalty area. That was very well defended by Michael Keane, coming across. As BBC World Service listeners join us here to rainy, almost stormy Merseyside, where it's Everton 0, Tottenham 0, and an excellent piece of defensive play for you to talk about there, Sue Smith, from Michael Keane?
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. It's lovely play from Tottenham initially. It's a 1-2 and Michael Keane has to time it to perfection, and he does that. He manages to just get his foot around the ball and wins it so well. But yeah, I'm just looking at the Tottenham lineup in that forward areas, and it does look like Kudus is playing slightly inside with Johnson wide right. So that'll be interesting to see how that progresses as the game goes on.
And the way that they've played so far, Jed Spencer's got some licence, hasn't he, on the left wing to push forward from there. And when he does, Van der Ven's stepping across into that area. So it's a very fluid Tottenham team lineup today.
Yeah, it is, and Simmons is sort of floating in that number 10 role, so it is, and it's something slightly different, I think, to what we've seen. But we say Thomas Frank, that's what he can do. He can mix things up, change things tactically.
I think about half of them are floating, so you've licence to float. Everton 0, Tottenham 0, and Everton 5 matches so far here, competitive matches at the new stadium. Won 3, drawn 2. It's Everton's best start at home to a season for 9 years, and this morning it was 14th against 7th. But with the results as they are, Tottenham, if they can become the first visiting team to beat Everton in a competitive match here, Tottenham will be up to 3rd in the Premier League tonight. As a flailing arm there from Beto catches Pedro Porro, but he keeps his feet. That's in the Tottenham right back area, comes back centrally, and now he has Garner, James Garner, little ball to his right to Dewsbury Hall. Now he has Ndiaye on the right hand side, back to Dewsbury Hall, left-footed ball that bounces off Ndiaye, and that means that the Tottenham have got it back with Kolo Muani, and then they sweep forward, but in actual fact Tarkowski was able to step in, and then Dewsbury Hall, excellent play from him. Ndiaye on the right hand side, Iliman Ndiaye has got 2 Tottenham players on him, so he plays it behind to O'Brien, puts his foot on it, then gets the cross in. That's headed away by Van der Ven towards the centre circle. Everton again take charge of the situation. Little pass from Mikalenko out to Grealish, again hugging the left wing. Grealish against Porro, dummy to cross onto his left foot. Grealish with a cross, stretching a header away by Danso. Excellent play, Grealish.
Oh, he just does that so well, doesn't he? You think he's going to cross it with his right foot, then he cuts back onto his left. Good delivery towards the far post. Yeah,
he had everyone fooled, I think, not just Pedro Porro. Really, the classic Jack Grealish swivel of the hips. Grealish on loan from Manchester City. Everton look to him, and here he is again, hair tied up at the back of his head. Grealish in the orange boots takes it to the byline, gets the cross in, that's headed away, comes out, headed forward by O'Brien, but he's headed it straight to Kudus, and the Tottenham man is able to take it away, and then actually turns, plays it back to Danso, who gives it away to Michael Keane. And Everton, you can hear the noise now inside the stadium. The Everton fans expectant, and then Dewsbury Hall receives it just outside the box. He gives it to Mikalenko, whose ball in comes off the shin of Danso. Could have gone anywhere, sliced it goalwards, but his goalkeeper Vicario, all in orange, was able to stretch high and catch it, and it is still Everton 0, Tottenham 0, Sue Smith.
Yeah, it's really good play from Everton though. Dewsbury Hall just finds that little bit of space between the defence and the midfield, and he's driving at the defence. He probably could have shot a little bit sooner, unselfishly plays it out to Mikalenko on the left hand side, and the chance sort of went, but good positive play again from Everton.
Still Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1 in the 3 o'clock kickoff. What a scoreline earlier, I have to say. I was listening to it on Sports Extra on the way to the ground today. Hearts 3-1 winners against Celtic. Long pass forward for Beto now. He's the lone striker, and as he plays it infield, might have been caught by Danso, went to ground. Danso, though, is able to take it away, and referee Poston was close at hand. He said no free kick, and then actually Beto, trying to tackle back, does foul Danso, and it's a free kick to Spurs near the centre circle.
Yeah, I think he slips, John, just as he's about to cut inside. It was a long ball, he runs into the channels, which he'll continually do, and I'm just watching it again on the screen. He just cuts back inside. Yeah, he actually touches Danso and slips over, so yeah, it's definitely no foul. And then he goes back and fouls. Yeah, and
Beto actually trying to plant his foot, stepped on the back of Danso's heel, and that could have been nasty. And Danso is a little fortunate there that he didn't come out of that with an injury. Simons now wriggling forward, and he gives it to Kudus. Kudus to the right to Brennan Johnson, the Welsh international. He puts his foot on the ball, Porro, then back to Johnson again. Johnson to Kudus. Kudus, left foot ball curling into the penalty area, a leap and a header away by Tarkowski. Van der Ven, then out to Spence, who has Njai in front of him, back to Van der Ven, comes back centrally to Palhinha, and then Bentancur has the ball near the halfway line, and will go all the way back to Kevin Gansel. Another goal at Rangers, Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, another goal which is currently being checked by VAR for a possible offside. If it does stand, it'll be Rangers 4, Kilmarnock 1. It was Belgian midfielder Nico Raskin who smashed into the bottom right-hand corner, set up incidentally by Mikey Moore, the 18-year-old Spurs loanee. But we'll have to keep you posted on the outcome. At the moment it's 3-1, might be 4-1.
OK, back to you, Kenny, for that. Earlier, Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 2. As I say, Hearts 3, Celtic 1. So Hearts 8 points clear of Celtic at the top of the Premiership. And I'm sure that Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton certainly will want to hear your calls on that when the lines are open for 6:06. We're also keeping across Real Madrid, Barcelona, where Real Madrid are 2-1 up. Here's Grealish though for Everton. Grealish into the penalty area, puts his foot on the ball, still great close control against Porro, then looks for Mikalenko, but Kudus does well actually, back in a defensive role, Kudus, then running it away, and in comes the challenge from Ghana to put it out of play for a throw-in to Spurs, 0-0.
Yeah, it's really good from Kudus, getting back and doing his defensive responsibilities. I think Jack Grealish there, just maybe he couldn't decide whether to cut in and hit it with his right foot or go on the outside, and maybe that extra touch allowed Kudus to come back, double up and win the ball for his team.
Yeah, confirmation it is still Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1. Bellingham has made one and scored one, as Tottenham bring the ball towards the halfway line. Next England squad is it's nearly a fortnight away. It's a week on Friday when that'll be announced for England's final World Cup qualifiers. And Bellingham now back in the starting lineup and appears to be in form. So there's a decision to be made there, Sue.
Yeah, there's just so many good players, isn't there, in that position?
And Grealish, he's a long way down the list,
yeah.
But on the basis of, what I've heard and seen so far, and now seeing him in the flesh for the first time playing for Everton, he's a contender. As Spurs give it away at the back, but Beto won't get there. Vicario out of his penalty area, and actually the offside flag is up. Vicario came flying out, diving header in the path of Beto. If they'd collided, that could have been serious there.
Yeah.
And then the late flag. Yeah,
really brave goalkeeping though, wasn't it, from Vicario? Just watching it, he is definitely offside, but he was brilliant midweek, Vicario.
Yep, 0-0 in the Champions League. Here's Kolo Muani, well tackled back by Tarkowski, who, as he put the challenge in, collided with the turf and immediately felt his lower back, and he's still on his knees. He's flexing his back, and they do not need, Everton, an injury to Tarkowski. Of course, the news this week that Jared Branthwaite is going to have a lengthy spell out. He's needing an operation, isn't he, on the problem hamstring that he's got. That, it's a big loss, but Michael Keane has stepped up this season. Yeah,
he's been excellent. I think as Tarkowski was just making the challenge, he seemed to just twist a little bit as he was sliding in on Muani.
Right, he seems okay. It's going to be a corner then for Tottenham. Kudus plays it towards the back post. It's headed back across and nutted in, and Tottenham have the lead. Van der Ven in the 6-yard box. It was headed across from the back post, and Van der Ven, just a few yards out, was able to nod it in for what is his 4th goal of the season for Tottenham. And it's Everton 0, Tottenham 1, and Everton's unbeaten record here and their new home is under threat.
Well, we know that Tottenham are very good at set pieces, and this is another set piece, really well worked. It's a good delivery from Kudus on the left-hand side, an in-swinging corner to that far post. They win that header at the far post, and the first one to react is Van der Ven, and it's brilliant from him. Everton will be really disappointed. First of all, they don't win that header at the far post, and then they can't challenge Van der Ven. It's a good header, though, initially, wasn't it? And brilliant from Van der Ven.
Yeah, it was Bentancur, wasn't it, at the back post? We're just seeing it again on our little screens here. So the delivery was good from Kudus. and then Bentancur made sure he got there. It was right at the back post, and Van de Ven, as I said, just a couple of yards out, leapt high, headed it in. Everton 0, Tottenham 1. So that has had an effect, certainly, on the home stands here. Around about 52,000 people. The biggest crowd so far was for the Villa match. When Aston Villa came, 52,114. It'll be something like that today. I mean, I can barely see a spare seat around the place, but the atmosphere has been quietened by Mickey van de Ven. Mickey van de Ven, who scored in their 3-0 win at West Ham, scored in Norway against Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Also scored right at the start of the season in the UEFA Super Cup match in Udine when we were there, when Tottenham looked as though they were going to win another European trophy, but ended up losing on penalties. Well, now Van de Ven's back in his own penalty area, clearing it away out of play for a throw to Everton on the far side. Back to Ibrox, Kenny Crawford.
5 minutes of added time now, but that Rangers' fourth goal was disallowed for offside, much to the disappointment of scorer Nico Raskin. Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1.
Thank you, Kenny. Be back with you when the final whistle goes. Just got a stoppage because Xavi Simons has gone down with a problem. Whether he just fell awkwardly or not, I don't know, but referee Pawson has waved on the Tottenham medical people. If you haven't heard, just to run you through the scores from earlier. So Bournemouth second after their 2-0 win at Nottingham Forest. The leaders Arsenal winning a tight match. You might have been listening to that earlier with John Akers and Joby McAnuff. Arsenal winning 1-0 against Crystal Palace, and Berichi Eza scoring against his former club. Aston Villa 1-0 winners against Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's third Premier League defeat of the season, so Manchester City staying fourth. And bottom of the table, Wolves 2, Burnley 3. After Burnley were 2-0 up, Wolves came back to 2-2, but Burnley winning it, and Burnley now up to 16th place in the table. So Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will want your calls on any and indeed all of that from round about 6:30 tonight on 6:06. Read all about it on the football pages of the BBC Sport website and app, and of course the highlights will be on Match of the Day on BBC One tonight. Kelly Cates in the hot seat this evening, and if you haven't heard, new from this season, clips from the Premier League matches on the BBC platforms from 8 o'clock. Simons has received lengthy treatment while I've been telling you all that, Sue.
Yeah, I've just been watching the replay. It's Win and Jai's dribbling on the right-hand side, and he just cuts in field. Siemens goes to challenge, and it's like he sort of lands funny and twists. He seems to be okay now, he's up, so hopefully it isn't anything too serious, because he's still adapting, isn't he? He's still trying to find his way into this Tottenham Hotspur team. Yes,
so he's off the field, still receiving treatment, and now he's just walking away. Play's going to resume with an Everton throw. Everton 0, Tottenham 1. O'Brien, it's a long one. Keane tries to flick it on, half cleared away. Dewsbury Hall plays it square. Grealish now back to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall, he picks out the pass to Ndiaye then back to Dewsbury Hall, right-footed ball into the box. That's cleared away, sort of hoiked away by Brennan Johnson, who was back in there. Comes forward again for Everton. Grealish has got 3 Tottenham players around him. He's been able to work it infield to Garner, who's going to try a shot from distance, and Vicario diving to his left, might have been going wide, but he had curl on it, he had bend on it, and Vicario leaping, I think, did get a touch to it. Yeah, it is a corner.
Oh, it's not a bad effort that from James Garner, and Jack Grealish does so well. He's got 3 players around him, draws them to him, and then he just flicks it to James Garner. He's free, takes a touch out of his feet, and with his right foot just tries to curl it into that far corner. I think he was about to sneak in. Vicario puts it out for a corner.
So it is a corner to Everton. There first. In it comes to near post. Head it in! There's the equaliser! And it's O'Brien! Jake O'Brien! Just got the glance, and it's flashed into the Tottenham net, and it's Everton 1, Tottenham 1.
Well, we know that both teams are very good at set pieces. This again is a really good set piece from Everton. It's a good delivery from Dewsbury Hall, and he does so well. O'Brien just goes to that near post and just glances it in. Nobody marks it from a Tottenham perspective. They'll be disappointed with that.
Yes, that's changed the atmosphere. They weren't ahead for long, Tottenham. maybe 6 minutes, and Tottenham are complaining about this. Now, they must feel that Vicario was impeded, and there is a possible offside. There is a VAR check going on. Certainly, I mean, Vicario ends up on the ground, and whether he was impeded or not, it's difficult to tell. There were Everton players on the goal line, and Ndiaye, I mean, Ndiaye's virtually on the goal line there.
Yeah, he is. He stood behind him, isn't he? He stood behind Vicario.
Ooh, I think it's going to be ruled out.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I think for offside.
Yeah, I think it will be ruled out. We'll wait for the moment. Players not resumed yet, but I mean, Ndiaye he's not only the furthest Everton player forward, he's the furthest player forward.
He is.
I mean, Vicario's in front of him. All of the Tottenham defenders are in front of him. He's impeding Vicario. He's involved in the play.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to get ruled out.
My only wonder is, why is it taking so long to actually make that decision?
I don't think there's enough contact on Vicario, but I think because they're checking the offside, it will probably be ruled out for that.
It has to. He cannot not be influencing the play. Still waiting, and actually they're actually going to call Craig Pawson across to the screen so that the referee can have the final call on this. But and again, whenever the referee is called across, that does suggest that there will be an overturning almost always, 90 probably 99% of the times. So he's over there having a look. Some of the players have gone over there with him. I suppose Van de Ven has gone over there as the captain, and Tarkowski as well. And it is on the far side, so it's not on the dugout side. Meanwhile, David Moyes is just taking an opportunity, I see, on this side of the field, just to have a word with James Garner, passing on an instruction. And still we wait. And you can tell the impatience of the Everton fans.
So I think, are they thinking, has he had enough of an impact on Vicario by standing in that offside position?
And no, this discussion is still going on. And the assistant over there, Matthew Wilkes, is trying to usher away the players. And now he walks back onto the field, and we're going to hear the announcement, I think. There is the rectangle in the air. I think we will get an announcement from Craig Pawson.
Everton 10 and 18 was in an offside position. The final decision is an indirect kick and 6-yard.
Now you can hear how that's gone down. The goal is ruled out, and it's still Everton 0, Tottenham 1. And who'd be a referee?
You just wouldn't, but I think looking at it, it is the right decision. He's in an offside position, he's affecting Vicario, so I can completely understand why that's been ruled out. It's disappointing from an Everton perspective because it's a really well-worked corner. O'Brien does brilliant, gets up well, and it's a lovely glancing header into that near corner. So is there enough contact on Vicario? That was the question.
Well,
the referee thinks there is.
I don't know about you, Sue. In my mind, I'm surprised that the decision wasn't reached more quicker. Because I just feel that the answer to that is a resounding yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time you and I have done a commentary together, so it's the first time you've had a chance to see me with my correcting fluid here, striking out the Everton goal and striking out the name of Jake O'Brien from the score sheet. And it remains Everton 0, Tottenham 1. Going to go to Ibrox, but now there's a bit of fire here in the dankness as Tottenham concede a free kick for the challenge on Ndiaye over on the right-hand side, and referee Pawson is going to have a word, I think. The challenge came in on Ndiaye. It's going to be a free kick out towards the right-hand side. I mean, he had Kolo Muani and Palhinha both fouling him. In the end, he went down, and it will be a free kick. We're going to go to Ibrox once we see what happens with this free kick. It is from right out over on the far side, only 10 yards inside the half, but it looks as though it's going to be delivered to the edge of the penalty area. Tottenham still leading by 1-0 after that goal was ruled out. Taken short, actually. Dewsbury Hall plays it in. That's headed away by Van de Ven, and Everton should deal with it with Mikalenko. So, come in again, Kenny Crawford from Glasgow.
Yeah, full-time Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1, and Danny Rowe's first home game in charge. He's secured Rangers' first Premiership victory at Ibrox this season. The goal supplied by Cornelius Danilo and Chermiti, his first for the club. George Stanger had equalised for Kilmarnock in the first half, but Danny Rowe's Rangers got it done, up to 5th in the league, but still 13 points behind leaders Hearts. Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1.
So we'll bring you reaction to that. We've already heard from Derek McInnes of Hearts, and much more reaction as well. Stay with us. Half-time, we'll have lots of interviews during the half-time break from the earlier 4 Premier League matches. This is our 5th commentary match of the day, our 8th commentary match of this round of Premier League matches, as Pedro Porro plays the ball infield, then forward to Kudus, but Dewsbury Hall, Grealish is able to put the challenge in there and win it back, and then play it back into the Everton back line. Keane, long pass from deep inside his own half, flicks off Danso. The suggestion is that Ndiaye was being fouled, but play continues and Tottenham will pass it out from the back. Everton fans down in front of us, we can see all of them from here, many of them on their feet waving their fists in the classic Goodison style, Sue.
Yeah, they're really not happy. They're obviously not happy with the goal being disallowed, and I think Ndiaye comes from out wide right centrally, and looks like Danso does have his arms around him, and he goes down. We've not seen a replay of it, but that's what the fans want, a free kick, and that would have been in a really dangerous position.
Yeah, the reason for the anger, Tottenham leading through the Mickey van de Ven goal. So that's 14 goals from corners that Tottenham have scored since the start of the last Premier League season, and only Arsenal have scored more than that. We're not too far away from the first North London derby of the season. It could be corner-tastic, couldn't it, between Tottenham and Arsenal. So Van der Ven scoring, well-worked corner. Kudus took it, headed back across by Bentancur and then nodded in by Van der Ven. But the anger because that Everton, what they thought was the equaliser, was ruled out. Here's Johnson down the right, gets the ball in, but that's headed away by Michael Keane. Kudus is just going to allow it to run out of play. So for Tottenham, we'll have a throw, possibly a long throw. I see Danso trotting forward here, and Kudus is going to leave it to him. So Kevin Danso, who they have identified, Tottenham, as the most effective long thrower. He's got the ball in his hands, way down to our right. Danso just backs right up against the hoardings. It's a packed Everton penalty area, and Pickford is being impeded. That's what they're saying. And Danso comes up and actually walks onto the pitch with the ball. And now Pickford again is shoving away the Tottenham players. In comes the throw, comes up an Everton head. Pickford had to help it over the top to make sure. And the referee says corner to Tottenham. Yeah,
I think the Everton players are unhappy. They're saying there's too many players in and around Jordan Pickford, pushing him away. But as the throw comes in, long throw comes in, I think it comes off Tarkowski's head, and Pickford has to do something with it. It would have floated in.
Yep, and Pickford at one stage, I think, shoved over Johnson. So here we go, the Tottenham corner routine again. They're queuing up 3, 4, 5 Tottenham players beyond the far post. Kudus to take this, then they run right across the 6-yard area. It comes in underneath the crossbar. Pickford is able to get a good punch away. Simons outside the box, then to Kudus, who gets the ball under control. Still a packed penalty area. Kudus, a little shimmy from him, tries to play it through the legs of James Garner, still going. Garner tackles back, puts it out for another Tottenham corner. Being tested here, Everton.
Yeah, they really are, and Kudus has been a real standout for Spurs, hasn't he? And he's looking up against Garner, and it goes out for a corner. I think there's something going on in the penalty area,
There's
John.
a right schmozzle going on in the 6-yard box. I thought it was actually part of the Tottenham corner routine. All the Tottenham players all ran together into the 6-yard area, but actually they had someone in their sights there, whether it was Tarkowski or whoever it was. Somebody upset the apple cart, and the referee's going to speak probably the two captains. Yes, it is Van der Ven and Tarkowski. And whether something was, I think Pickford might have been involved. Then Tarkowski shoved away Van der Ven, so it was actually the two captains together. But I think Pickford started it.
I think it was Pickford and Van der Ven, wasn't it? And yeah, Tarkowski came over and helped his teammate out.
Everton 0, Tottenham 1. 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. This latest Tottenham corner then. Kudus to take it. Again, players running all across the 6-yard box, the delivery, and Pickford stretches, just get a glove to it, I think, which took it out to the far side. Then Xavi Simons, and now on the left-hand side, Kolo Muani works it back to the edge of the box. Bentancur shoots! Oh, that was not far away from the top left corner. Pickford diving to his right. I thought it was in, but it was wide.
Yeah, so close. Brilliant from Bentancur. We speak about how good he is defensively and protecting that back line, but he's got quality, and that just shows, and it's not far away from Jordan Pickford's right-hand post.
Just seeing it again now. Thought it was a fraction away. I mean, probably less than a foot wide. Inches away. I might even have flicked the very outside of the post on the way wide.
Lovely strike though, through with his laces, just on the edge of the box.
It was an excellent contact. Beto is away from Danso into the penalty area, still going, but it rattles around. Still going Beto, but then Vicario coming out is able to land on the ball as much as anything else.
He never really had it under control, did he, Beto?
That would be fair to say.
He gets in behind Danso, but it's always running away from him.
However, he is a blunt instrument, isn't he, Beto? Just the one Premier League goal so far this season. He scored 2 in his 10 appearances, one of them in the Carabao Cup. Tottenham breaking forward, Simons carrying it, but then in an attempt to roll it to his left to Spence. I don't know whether he took his eye off the ball, but he got it all wrong, Simons. And now Everton play it forward, Bentancur chasing, but Bentancur is able to pass it back to Vicario, who will pass it to Pedro Porro. Yes, that last run from Beto, as Sue says, he was never in control of the ball, but it's the classic situation that if Beto doesn't quite know what is going to happen with the ball, then probably the defenders and the goalkeeper don't either. And in the end, he didn't end up getting a shot in on goal. You know, that it does appear to be the weak point, doesn't it? The lack of a goal scorer.
Yeah, no, it is.
Everton.
Yeah, because I think the 3 behind, very good, technically very gifted, but often it just comes straight back when they go to play the ball into Beto. What he does, he'll work so hard for the team, he'll run the channels, but just lacking that little bit of quality. Yeah,
you cannot question his work ethic. I mean, he's such a physical presence, Beto, but the statistics show that he is very much, as they say, underperforming his expected goals total. That's very much a modern way of saying he doesn't take his chances.
Yeah.
As Everton have it with Ghana. The only player who is worse in those standings, I was rather surprised to see, was Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Honestly, he gets into so many good positions, doesn't he? But he scores enough.
Yeah, he does. He has Keane playing it back, and then all the way back to Pickford. So Everton 0, Tottenham 1. 37 minutes played as darkness begins to close in after the clocks went back last night. I heard them say this morning it would be dark at 5 o'clock, and they were not far wrong. So the brand new floodlights of the Hill Dickinson Stadium shining brightly down on Dewsbury Hall, who turns, plays it to Njai, low ball in. Oh, that was a decent looking ball, and it needed the slide from Van de Ven to put it behind for an Everton corner. Tottenham continue to lead 1-0.
Yeah, really good play from Everton, started from Tarkowski. It's a great ball into those midfield areas. Straight away it's out to Njai, and he tries to deliver it first time, but Van de Ven read the situation. We know he's got the pace to get back, and he does well for his team.
Yeah, they're an effective 3, aren't they? Njai, Dewsbury Hall and Grealish. And the corner from the right for Everton. Dewsbury Hall swings it in. Vicario comes. Actually, it was headed away well by Palhinha. Back again to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall just drops a shoulder and then plays it back into the centre circle. And now Mikalenko rolls it to Jack Grealish, and Grealish gets rid of it quickly this time to James Garner, still 25 yards out, curls it in, headed down and away. That was effectively defended by Jed Spence, and Tottenham do just fire it downfield, which gives possession back to Everton. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Everton yet to lose here in their new stadium in a competitive match, but Tottenham 1-0 up. The team who came here with the best away record in the Premier League so far this season, and they're winning 1-0, and they scored from a corner. Dewsbury Hall again. Dewsbury Hall comes infield and gives it back out to the right-hand side. And Dewsbury Hall makes a run into the box. Instead it goes back to O'Brien, who thought he'd equalised before it was ruled out. And Jai's ball in. Oh, excellent! Oh, and it takes a touch at the near post, which took it all the way through the 6-yard box. Absolutely vital touch, I think, from Van de Ven. And Beto was in the middle in the 6-yard box, but that touch from Van de Ven meant that it evaded him. And it was out, and Everton now back in possession. Grealish doesn't keep it in, and it's a goal kick to Tottenham.
Wow, John, I've absolutely no idea how that didn't go into the back of the net. Brilliant play from Njai on the right-hand side yet again, and he delivers such a good ball into a really dangerous area. Van de Ven had to get something on it. Beto was coming in at the far post, but again, it's Njai, beats his man. It's a great delivery in, and just that little touch takes it past Beto.
What a touch that was from Van de Ven, because he was facing his own goal. It was whipped in at pace. He was probably 5 yards out, and to get the touch that was necessary to glance it across the 6-yard box, I mean, that was an art in itself.
Yeah, could have gone anywhere.
And it was perfect to take it across the box, away from the reach of Beto, who you would think, had he not had the touch, Van de Ven, that Beto could not have missed. But we weren't able to find out because of the touch from Van de Ven. So I think it'd be fair to say, Sue, that he's had a very good first half, the Tottenham captain, scoring the only goal so far, and that a crucial interception to keep it at 1-0.
He's been solid, really, really solid. Just reads the game so well, doesn't he? And every time Everton have got a delivery in, seems to be in the right position. Yeah,
entertaining it is. Just the one goal so far, and here's Njai again. Njai who's challenged by Simons, and Njai thought that was going to be given as a corner. So did the Everton fans, and referee Pawson, who I can tell you will be booed off at half-time, indicates that it is a goal kick. So Everton 0, Tottenham 1. At half-time, which is coming up very shortly, we'll hear more on Arsenal's win, Bournemouth's win, Aston Villa's win and Burnley's win. And Hearts, the big winners against Celtic in the 12 o'clock kickoff early on in the piece. Here's Jed Spence. Jed Spence gets it down and then tries to make ground down the left-hand side. The goal that Van de Ven scored, that is just the third goal that Everton have conceded here in the now 6 matches that they've played in all competitions. That's been one of the strengths. They are on the back foot now, though, with Tottenham. Bentancur, who came very close to making it 2-0, but he's given it away under pressure from Idrissa Gueye. Now Beto, but Tottenham are streaming back, and they've got everyone back in positions where they want them. So Everton start again from the halfway line. Keane plays it across to O'Brien, and then O'Brien rolls it across the surface of the pitch to Njai. Njai, Everton, with the personnel that David Moyes has got, it is noticeable today that they really use the width of the pitch. Grealish right out on the left-hand side, and Njai right out on the right-hand side.
Yeah, they do, and often the fullbacks will go inverted. They don't always go around the outside. If the wingers go inside, they'll then go outside. So it's very well worked.
Grealish again, and it goes to James Garner. Now Mikolenko, and the Ukrainian crosses it, and it bounces off Brennan Johnson, and then behind for another Everton corner with half-time just 90 seconds plus added time away. Tottenham still in front through the headed goal, the close-range headed goal from Mickey van de Ven. So the corner to be taken from the left-hand side. This is the first one they've had from the left-hand side. So right-footed in swinger from Garner. Vicario comes with a stretch, got gloves to it, which deflected it across the box. Kolomuani kept it in. Now it's been won back by Njai. Njai, Kolomuani tackling back. The ball across is stabbed away to comparative safety by Brennan Johnson. Still though, Everton come again. Dewsbury Hall left-footed in, but all the way through beyond the far post. despite Grealish sliding after it for a goal kick, and it's still 1-0 to Tottenham.
Yeah, Everton really pushing to get that equaliser again, and Jai does brilliant on the right-hand side. He's so strong for such a slight player, wins the ball back, gets something into the area, and then when it falls out to Dewsbury Hall, just overhits it. There was players at the far post, but goes over the top of them all.
So 1-0 as half-time approaching. Mind you, since the start of last season, no team has lost as many Premier League matches when they've scored first than Tottenham. And indeed that's what happened in their last match against Aston Villa, when they were 1-0 up through the early goal from Bentancur last weekend, and Villa came back to win 2-1. Long pass forward from Tarkowski, headed away, comes out to Johnson, and there are 7 minutes of added time. I suppose we had the long VAR, and then Siemens had that lengthy spell of treatment, so 7 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. So there is every possibility that Everton have the time, certainly, to get themselves level, but not like that, as Mykolenko plays it through and it bounces all the way behind for a goal kick. Despite the fact 7 minutes have been added on, still hundreds and hundreds of people have got up and headed down to the exits. There are some very enticing looking places on the interior of this stadium. It is beautifully done, I must say, with the red brick. You know, it is on the site of the former Bramley Moor dock, and they have kept that feel, you know, that dockyard feel with the red bricks on the inside and the outside. Here's Johnson now coming down the right-hand side. Johnson plays it back to Pedro Porro. Porro then forward to Johnson again. Johnson's low ball across, that's intercepted by a sliding Tarkowski. Comes back to Kudus, who gets it down, controls it, curls it into the back post. Headed away by O'Brien. Nodded square by Bentancur. Then Spence. Simons slips over, then he's challenged by Idrissa Gueye, and that's a foul, and it's a free kick to Tottenham and a set-piece chance for Tottenham in added time.
Yeah, it's a good position as well, just wide on the left. They'll be looking to whip that ball in. It was a foul from Idrissa Gueye again. Just looking at Xavi Simons, he's been a little bit wasteful of the ball, hasn't he? He's worked hard and got back into positions, but maybe just not done as much with the ball as what maybe Spurs fans would like him to.
Yep, so set-piece chance. It's just beyond the left corner of the Everton penalty area as Tottenham attack. Kudus has gone across there, but Pedro Porro as well. I think probably Porro, with it being the in-swinger with the right foot, but both options are there. Two-man Everton wall. 1-0 Tottenham lead, 5 live in the World Service from the BBC. And they're ready now with this free kick. Porro and Kudus look at one another. Kudus sort of has a false start, but Porro comes up. In fact, it will be Kudus who plays it. Took a deflection off the wall, it hit the wall, did its job, deflected it behind. And actually the player that it hit in the wall, Jack Grealish, just needed a moment there, but he's all right. He's thought about it. He's just rubbing the side of his head, but it'll be a corner to Tottenham.
Yeah, and we thought it was going to be an in-swinger. It wasn't. It was Kudus with the outswinger. But yeah, the wall of Jack Grealish did well.
So, corner. This will be the in-swinger from Pedro Porro. So, again, lots of movement inside the 6-yard box. Palhinha making a real nuisance of himself. In it comes into the 6-yard area, and it's headed up and over the top by Bentancur, who flung himself at it. He was twisting as he did so and could only head it over the top.
Yeah, the movement of Tottenham Hotspur is really good from corners. They've got sort of 4 or 5 on that far post, and they then just flood into different areas. Bentancur ended up at the far post and yeah, just couldn't quite get it on target.
Former England international Sue Smith alongside me here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, where I think the rain has eased. It was swirling into the stadium. The River Mersey just behind us, and the grey choppy waters they were. Here is Johnson into the penalty area, still going Johnson, defenders all around him, and then Michael Keane I think got the final touch as he tried to pull it across, and that's behind another Tottenham corner. And Everton, they're going to have to stand up strong from these Tottenham corners right up until the half-time whistle.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson's not really had much chance to have a run at Mykolenko, and you can see there he's got the pace to get by him. Jack Grealish did well. Michael Keane came across and helped out.
Yeah, been on the bench the last 3 Tottenham matches, Brennan Johnson, but back in the starting lineup for this one with this new look front line. So corner then, Kudus, left-footed from the right-hand side, again towards the back post, where Kolo Muani jumps for it with Keane and O'Brien. Final touch was off one of the 2 Everton men behind. It's another corner. This is number 6 for Spurs in the first half.
Yeah, they're clearly looking for that far post area. That must be something that they've worked on, that they think is a weakness of Everton's, to the far post to head it back across goal. They've done that numerous occasions.
So again, Porro, this time from the other side, the left-hand side. Once more, same routine. 4 Tottenham players beyond the far post, then run towards the near post. In it comes Pickford. It's in! It's another one for Tottenham, and it's another one for Van de Ven. 2-0. And now Everton's record, their unbeaten record here inside their new stadium, is under real threat. Just before the half-time whistle, the Tottenham captain increases his team's advantage with his second goal and Tottenham's second goal. Everton 0, Tottenham 2.
Well, what a half Van de Ven's had. He's been brilliant defensively, and he scored 2 goals for his side. And Tottenham have been so good at set pieces. They look so well organised. The delivery's been excellent. There's 4 of 5 players at that far post, and they just run to different areas. Van de Ven goes to there. He's sort of just in front of Pickford, centre of the goal, pushes off Pickford, gets up above Tarkowski, and it's a lovely header into that far corner.
Well, that's a classic central defenders goal-scoring header in the opposition penalty area. You know, so strong against Pickford, who was trying to couldn't deal with him.
No.
And the delivery as well from Porro.
Oh, it's absolutely pinpoint, isn't it? But he's got Tarkowski and Michael Keane, but he manages to get up above them all, and yeah, it's a fantastic header.
Yeah, you've got to pay tribute to Tottenham's work. So 2 goals from corners, both scored by Van de Ven. And the way that they play it is Van de Ven at the other end now gets another crucial touch as a long pass is played forward by Everton to just get a little glance on it back to his goalkeeper Vicario. That was excellent play as well. But those disruptors, Sue, the Tottenham players from the corner, of course, mayhem.
Yeah, it does, and because you don't know where they're going. They're starting at the back post, but they're all running in different directions, and it's difficult. You can see both Tarkowski and Michael Keane are trying to keep an eye on where they're going, and it then obviously leaves 3 headers.
So make that 15 goals scored from corners by Tottenham since the start of last season, and they're closing in on Arsenal's 21. I presume they didn't score from a corner today, Arsenal, as I scored the goal. It's Vicario. So Everton now facing the possibility of defeat here for the first time in a league or a cup match at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Still half a half to go, but that was a big moment when the goal was ruled out, the O'Brien goal that looked like the equaliser as Porro wins as Tottenham win a free kick 15 yards inside the Everton half. But I would say it again, I feel it was the right decision.
Yeah, I think it was, and you can understand the fans' frustration. I think the fact that it took so long to come to the decision, but he was offside and he was affecting Vicario. I think it was both Grealish and Ndiaye, mainly Ndiaye, wasn't it? It was literally stood on the line. So yeah, you can understand, but it's a big turning point in the game.
Yeah, we've had the 7 minutes of added time. I guess that Craig Pawson will be adding a little more on. Remember, when they announce it is always a minimum of however minutes added on. So Tottenham, their supporters in great voice, take the free kick, and actually it's passed forward to Johnson, but the whistle goes just as Tottenham were breaking through, and Jed Spencer's saying to Craig Pawson, how can you blow the whistle there? And I guess Craig Pawson's, and in fact the Tottenham players are going over Van de Ven, and they're asking the question, the captain's asking the question, why did you blow the whistle then? But I mean, Craig Pawson's answer will be, because the time was up.
But usually you would allow play to continue. I can totally understand the Tottenham's frustration there. They were through on goal.
Well, here's the start of the chorus of boos from the Everton supporters for the referee, Craig Pawson. But what a half for Tottenham. Came here to Merseyside with the best away record in the Premier League so far this season, and they are very much continuing that. 2 goals from Mickey van de Ven, both from corners, Everton 0, Tottenham 2 at half-time.
And nobody fancies defending a set piece. We'll have second half commentary then from the Hill Dickinson on the way between now and then. By the way, lines open for 606 08085 909 693. We've got loads of reaction, so we will whack through as much as we possibly can. Mikel Arteta after Arsenal won Crystal Palace 0. Pep Guardiola and Matty Cash after Cash scored the only goal. Villa beat City by a goal to 0. Anthony Iraola, Bournemouth up to second in the Premier League after beating Nottingham Forest. Vitor Pereira after some Wolves fans called for him to be sacked. Their bottom of the league still lost 3-2 at home to Burnley. Brendan Rodgers after his Celtic side lost at Hearts, who were 8 points clear at the top. And if we're lucky, a bit of Danny Rowell after his first game as Rangers manager at Ibrox finished in a 3-1 win over Kilmarnock. All of that to come between now and second half commentary of Everton 0, Tottenham 2 after the news with Nick Hatfield.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Justice Secretary, David Lammy, says a sex offender who was mistakenly released from prison will be deported this week. Hadish Kibatu, a migrant from Ethiopia, was found this morning in North London after a tip-off by a member of the public. Police had been searching for him for 2 days. Mr Lammy says there'll be an inquiry into exactly what went wrong.
The number one priority is that the public are safe, and certainly that foreign nationals that commit offences who should not be in the country are absolutely deported back to where they are from, and that is what should have taken place in this regard. And that's why it's been important for me to suspend the particular officer involved pending that full investigation, and to ensure that the checks are there in Chelmsford and in the system to reassure the public over the coming days.
Elsewhere, and 2 men have been arrested by French police over the theft of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. Israel says teams from the Red Cross in Egypt have been allowed to search for the remains of hostages in Gaza beyond the area its military controls. And the US Trade Secretary Scott Bessent says they've agreed the framework for a potential trade deal with China. President Trump will meet the Chinese leader Xi Jinping next week.
It's all eyes to the lights and fed to the floor. On 5 Live, Max Verstappen takes the win of the United States Grand Prix.
We need to be perfect till the end of the season to have a chance, but we will try.
5 races to go, 2 sprint races. The fight is on as we head straight to Mexico. Tonight at 8.
On 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
And download the Checkered Flag podcast for interviews, reaction and analysis. This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Everton 0, Tottenham 2, second half commentary on the way. Arsenal are 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League. They beat Crystal Palace this afternoon 1-0. Eberici Eze scored the goal. Of course he did. Here's Mikel Arteta with Andy Giddings.
Well, first of all, 1-0 to the Arsenal. How proud of you, the team's resolve and performance today?
A very big result. I just mentioned to the boys, for me it's one of the biggest victories this season. I knew about the difficulty of it. We come from a lot of games every 3 days. And a Palace team that, in my opinion, has been one of the best this season in the league. So difficult to generate chances against them. The level of organisation and how interpret and cancel the spaces and shift and defend with a lot of intensity is remarkable. So big credit to Oliver for doing that. And then the threat. Every time you lose the ball, they're on you and they attack from the opposite side with a lot of threat. They have a focal point on Mateta. You want to press them, they go long, and then the second ball is just a lottery. So I know that we have beaten a team that is very difficult to beat, and especially to gain a clean sheet, because we are the first team that has done that this Premier League. So I'm very happy.
Eze to get the winning goal. Who perhaps could have predicted that? First Premier League goal. What will that do for him and his confidence in kind of setting his stall out here at Arsenal?
Well, very happy for Ebbs. Obviously, it was a very special game against his former club. I know how he feels about the club and what it meant to him. So he scored a goal that gave us a win, and what a goal as well.
Mikel Arteta with Andy Giddings. Unai Emery marked 3 years as Aston Villa boss with a 1-0 win over Manchester City, their 4th victory in a row. Matty Cash scored the winner.
A nice strike, yeah, I haven't seen it back, but something we worked on yesterday in training. Not exactly me to hit it. It was a special, but not for me. But yeah, on the edge of the box, I sort of try and get in them positions and make good contact. And yeah, hit across it, and obviously sent the goalie. There's a lot of bodies and stuff. It was difficult for him, so happy.
Was it one of those where you have them, don't you, where you knew as soon as you hit it?
Yeah, I've had a few of them in the last, this season, to be fair. I've scored 4 this season with club and country, so yeah, on the edge of the box, I like shooting. I like making good contact with it, and that's what I try to do in training. Work on hitting it nice and sweet, and left foot, right foot, it was nice.
Matty Cash with Match of the Day's Guy Mowbray. City dropped to 5th after that defeat. Here's Pep Guardiola.
We played really good. First half we started impressive, and we had the chances, the true chances for the last pass, for the last cross, for the last movement. That is what really missed. And they defend deep, and after we missed, when we make this intensity in high pressing, they contact behind us, and that we struggle. And to win that balls, when they contact behind our strikers or wingers, we don't win that ball. Always is difficult, and because in that ball you defend deep, and they have that momentum, score a goal. In the second half we adjusted a little bit. It was much incredible, much better.
There's going to be a lot of talk about the league table, the fact that you're 6 points off of top. What does that mean to you?
I was 8 or 9 a few months ago, so yeah, I would prefer to be there, but yeah, unfortunately we could not do it there. But now it's the next one, so we are in not even November, right? So many games and many things going to happen. It's try to be stable, no injuries, and people come back. And I see many things that I like.
Pep Guardiola with Aaron Paul. Bournemouth are second in the Premier League after a 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest. Here's manager Anthony Iraola.
Yes, I think different halves. I think we've played better first half. We pushed more. We were arriving with intention, and I think the goal, the first goal and the second goal arrived when we were pushing more, and I was pleased. Second half has been different. We wanted to keep this high tempo, high rhythm, but haven't happened a lot of things, especially until the end. And in the end, I think we finished also strong, but has been different the second half, yes.
And I know you tend to say you don't look at the league table. Is that going to continue for a while yet? I mean, at what point do you look and go, hold on a minute, we are in second here in the Premier League?
We are very, very far from those points, from those moments. I think now I care about the 18 points. That is a good amount for the 9 games we played. But the distances between the teams are so small that now we play City away and Villa away before the break. It's going to be difficult to stay there, we have very difficult games, but the points are there, and we are going to give it a go and try to add more before the break, yes.
Anthony Iraola with Andy Stevenson. Wolves are still the only Premier League team without a win. They are now 6 points from safety and bottom after a 95th minute Lyle Foster winner for Burnley finished 3-2. This will be a story. A section of Wolves fans afterwards were chanting, "You're getting sacked in the morning" at manager Vitor Pereira. He then had to be pulled away. There was a confrontation there for sure. Here is the Wolves manager on that reaction.
2 months ago they sing my name, but this is football. And I know that if we win the next 2 or 3 games, everything change. Everything change is the frustration of the result. The reaction in the end is the frustration of the result, and I understand.
Do you think you'll be given the next 2 or 3 games to be able to turn their opinion around?
It's not about me. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about the team and the club. And the supporters that make part of this club. We are a family, and we need to react as a family in this bad moment.
Can you pick this group back up again? Can you turn this around?
Every day. I ask you, your feeling about the team is the team was fighting or the team give up?
No, I thought they were fighting.
Of course, fighting until the last minute because they want to win the game. They want to win the game because we know that we need the 3 points and we need a win to change the things.
Imagine if he said he thought they'd given up. Charlie Slater there speaking to Vitor Pereira. Listen, Wolves fans, 08085 909 693. If you want to place the event, 6:06 is coming up once we're done at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Some quotes here from Danny Roll. His first game at Ibrox as Rangers boss finished in a 3-1 win over Kilmarnock. Said, "It's still a long journey. I'm happy today for the club, the staff and players. I enjoyed how I saw my team. Not everything was perfect, but I saw a lot of good things. The players said after the game it was a good step forward. With this, we can build something." Leaders' Hearts have opened up an 8-point lead at the top because they beat Celtic earlier 3-1 at Tynecastle. Here's Brendan Rodgers with Brian McLaughlin.
Is this all down to mistakes that happened in the summer again, Brendan, in terms of not bringing in the quality that you were looking for?
Well, irrespective, it's where we're at now. We need to find a way to
to be more consistent. Obviously, we had a good performance at home. I think the beauty for us is that it's a disappointing day, result-wise, performance-wise. I feel we're not. I've been here many times and had the feeling and the slickness in the team and the speed and everything else. So we're not at that moment. But so get 29 games, and Hearts today being obviously being at their best, and that's it. Then we know that if we can find a consistent run of games and level of mentality, then of course there's still so many points to play for. So, but for today, it was a disappointing result.
That's Brendan Rodgers. We heard from Derek McInnes earlier as well, obviously doing an incredible job at Hearts, who are 8 points clear. So you're up today. 08085 909 693 606 on the way after the second half of Everton 0, Tottenham 2 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Afternoon, Chris.
Hello, Steve.
Got a great little quiz question for you here. Right?
Go on then.
The last time at this stage of the season that none of Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool or Manchester United were in the top 4. Who was top the last time none of them were in the top 4?
Norwich City?
Yes, they were.
There we
Chris
go,
Sutton
Steve.
was top of the Premier League.
Yeah, not me personally, but
Yeah, well, you were.
my teammates were part of that as well. It wasn't just all about me, Steve.
I heard it was all you. December 4th, 1992, Norwich top ahead of Blackburn, Arsenal and Villa.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we ended up finishing third, nearly won at Little Norwich City. That was when it was a level playing field, Steve, back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't really remember 1992, Chris. I'm joking. What are we talking about, do you think?
Oh, I mean, there's so much from today's football. I mean, first of all, heard Brendan Rodgers there in Scotland, but Hearts are the story, aren't they? 8 points clear. Hearts fans, is it yours to lose? Celtic fans, let us know, what you think the problem is at the club this season. Was it the summer recruitment? Is it Brendan Rodgers? Is it a little bit of both? Rangers get the first win, and then in the Premier League south of the border, I mean, where do you want to start? Manchester City, losing to Aston Villa. Aston Villa are flying now, but you stop Erling Haaland, you stop Manchester City. Are they a bit of a one-man show? Bournemouth up to second, absolutely incredible job that Andoni Iraola's doing. Is that Sean Dyche under pressure? Steve has only got a few games left, hasn't he, Sean Dyche?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this, okay? Did you know that Vitor Pereira actually signed a new contract more recently than Ange Postecoglou did? So
right. I mean, that's unbelievable. I was listening to you talk about the Wolves situation, the aggro at the end, and then Vitor Pereira talking about Wolves being a family. I mean, a bit of a dysfunctional family, aren't they, at this moment in time? Want to hear from Wolves fans. Do you want a change of manager? Tell us why. Should he have been given that new contract? Should he be given more time? Big win for Burnley, gotta say. Really important win for Scott Parker's team. So, yeah, plenty to talk about. And Arsenal, I think they're going to win the Premier League this season. Just don't concede. Ground out another boring 1-0, but they are relentless.
And you're delighted for Danny Rowe?
Yes, yeah. He's got a tricky job. Rangers, their squad, I don't think is particularly strong. I can't see them catching Hearts.
Thank you, Chris. Have a good one later.
Thank you. Cheers, Steve.
Top man, Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. 6:06 on the way once we're done at Everton. After 6:06, the Mexico City Grand Prix on 5 Live tonight from 7:45. Lando Norris on pole position. Pro driver Sam Bird, part of your commentary team. Hello, Sammy.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. I cannot wait for the start of this race. Is there anywhere else on the calendar where you can start third like Lewis Hamilton is and think, I could be leading after turn 1?
No, this is unique in that respect. Lewis Hamilton is chomping at the bit. He hasn't had a podium yet in the Ferrari Red, so he is raring to go. Lando Norris wants to get in front and lead from the front. He has a chance to lead the Drivers' Championship at the end of this one, but we've got 71 hard-fought laps to contest first, but it's going to be absolutely thrilling.
Top man, Sam Bird, with correspondent Andrew Benson and commentator Harry Benjamin, your team for the Mexico City Grand Prix a little later. Ball on the centre spot at Everton, ready for second half commentary with Sue Smith and correspondent John Murray.
Yes, and clouds of rain visible under the floodlights of the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's blowing in again from the Irish Sea. Everton kick off. They've got work to do here. 2-0 down after Tottenham's 2 goals from corners, both scored by Mickey van de Ven in the first half. And no changes at the break. with Tottenham coming forward, but Everton winning it back. O'Brien, who had that goal ruled out, would have made it 1-1. Was the right decision though. And Jai now down the right, but his cross, he's absolutely skied it over the top of the crossbar and behind. So Everton, as they started with Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane and Mykolenko, Garner and Gay, then Ndiaye, Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Beto, and Tottenham with Vicario, Pedro Porro, Danso, Van de Ven and Spence, Bentancur and Palhinha, and then that fluid front four of Johnson, Kudus, Simons and Kolo Muani starting for Spurs for the first time. But it's the central defender and Tottenham's corners that have caused the damage and caused the mayhem, Sue Smith.
Yeah, certainly been a story of set pieces, hasn't it? Great delivery, and Van de Ven's been outstanding in the air. I think David Moyes will be disappointed. He prides himself on being strong at set pieces, and to let two not simple set pieces in, but good delivery, good header. Someone's got to challenge. But they're just so difficult to cope with. Yeah. And as you say, the story of the set pieces, we've had another chance, haven't we, to watch the Everton goal that was ruled out. Still feel right decision. Yeah, it is, and it's offside, isn't it? I think, we were looking at it going, well, if it's a foul, it wouldn't be a foul. But the fact that he's on the goal line, and it's bound to affect Vicario in Jai's position. As ball's fired by Tarkowski out to Grealish, gave him no chance. He had to stretch for it, tried to head it back into his own half, only succeeded in conceding a throw-in from inside the opposition half. He's conceded the throw-in with the header for Tottenham, halfway inside his own half. And, you can hear the atmosphere, or shall I say, the lack of atmosphere. And so many attractions inside the stadium here that there are lots and lots of empty blue seats, even though we are 2 minutes into the second period, and Everton, their team, need their support. Yeah, they do, and the next goal, I know it's a simple thing to say, but it is vital, isn't it? 3-0, it's game over. Bentancur wins it back, then Kolo Muani to Kudus. Everton are stretched here. Simons, Johnson fires it low in the cross, but straight at Garner, who was able to cut it out, and the ball is cleared away by Pickford. And now Everton might have a chance with Idrissa Gueye, and Jai's onto it on the stretch. He's got 2 Tottenham players with him, 3 now as Spence forces him to turn, and then he plays it infield. Idrissa Gueye plays it square now to Dewsbury Hall, then out to Grealish. Grealish trying to get it onto his right foot, back to Dewsbury Hall on the edge of the area. The challenge comes in on him from Palhinha, just took it away from him. Here's Grealish again, another chance, low ball across, Danso ricochets, Dewsbury Hall could be in there, shouts for a penalty, but Tottenham clear it. Not only back to Grealish, ball still in play. I think it was the right decision by referee Pawson. Dewsbury Hall went down, ball into the far post, a flick from Ndiaye at the back post on the edge of the 6-yard box, just wide. Yeah, you're right, John. I don't think it was a penalty. I'm just watching the replay from the Ndiaye flick. It's really creative from him. It's a little bit behind him. All he can do is just backheel it. It comes into the far post. Yeah, I'm just watching now. They wanted a foul, Dewsbury Hall and Danso. It's not. It's just a coming together. Danso actually, I think, wins the ball. But you just feel Everton, they just need to move the ball a little bit quicker in that final third. They're allowing Tottenham to get back and get numbers back and get back into shape. In fact, if anything, it was a foul, I think, by Dewsbury Hall on Danso. The other way, yeah. Yeah. So if they are looked at it, which obviously they will do, they have supported referee Craig Pawson. So 2-0 to Tottenham. 5 Live and the World Service as well with us here in the new home of Everton Football Club after, well, all of those scores and scores of years. 133 years Everton played at Goodison Park, and now the opening months at this wonderful venue it is. Here's Ndiaye trying to fire a way through to the edge of the box, but Danso is able to get a touch, and then it's cleared away downfield by Pedro Porro. The rain continues to sweep in over the tops of the futuristic roof that they have on this stadium. It is a stadium unlike any other, and as the estate agents would say, they have sympathetically restored the whole Bramley Moor dock area. Here is Grealish now, down the left, plays it infield towards Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall tried to flick it back out to Grealish, but that didn't work. And Tottenham, they're a very effective pair, Palhinha and Bentancur.
Bentancur gets forward, but generally Palhinha is the one who stays back, as Jed Spence now again operating at left back and only goes so far down the left. Idrissa Gueye was able to win it back, and Jai, I mean, obviously Everton have got to get back in the game and score as quickly as possible. That's what they need. They need a strong start to the second half. Then it is out from Mykolenko to Grealish, again right over there on the left wing as Everton attack, and then back to Grealish, who plays it square to O'Brien. O'Brien curls it in, a stretching header away by Danzo, and he's found a teammate in Kudus on the edge of his own box, but Kudus has just given it back to Everton again. Thomas Frank won't be happy about that, and indeed, as I look down there, he steps forward very quickly into the relatively small technical areas here at the new stadium, right to the edge of it, claps his hands, the Tottenham head coach. Ball played into the area, but Danzo's able to step across.
Yeah, it's really sloppy in possession from Tottenham there. Everton had good possession of the ball and they end up losing it, and Tottenham, kudos, he had options, he had players running forward, and just give it straight back to Everton, who then came on the attack again.
Ball out for a throw into Tottenham on the edge of their own penalty area, level with the edge of their own box. Pedro Porro to take this throw towards the halfway line. Mykolenko heads it forward. Bentancur is challenged by Beto, and Beto does well. He's able to win it back. Grealish drifts away and then drags it back. He's up against Johnson, and then Porro comes. He beats him as well. Grealish doesn't get the ball into the penalty area, but keeps possession, then plays it back. James Garner, that's dangerous looking. Whipped cross into the box, but in the end it was over the heads of both Dewsbury Hall and Beto, and Vicario caught it.
Yeah, it's whipped in with so much pace, and both Beto and Dewsbury Hall had both made a similar run to the far post. Nobody run across the goalkeeper to make it difficult for him.
Tottenham just can't get out at the moment.
No.
And again, it's played up towards the halfway line, ricochets around. Might have a chance to do that now with Kudus, and Michael Keane puts the challenge in on him, and it runs away out of play for a throw into Everton. Keane is going to take it quickly, which he does. Dewsbury Hall then rides the challenge from Simons. In comes Palhinha. That's a good tackle, and Tottenham have got it back and will now play it away downfield. Simons with a reverse pass to Kudus, who's on the left hand side. Kolo Muani is telling him where he wants it, but he can't deliver the pass, and Everton have got it back again halfway inside their own half. So Everton 0, Tottenham 2. I think that rain is increasing in intensity. It is a very wet afternoon here. It feels like winter has arrived. Clocks went back. Now here we are in the darkness. But Everton crossing the halfway line with O'Brien. Then Idrissa Gueye into the centre circle. Already 8 minutes played in the second half. Then it's helped out to Grealish again. Grealish with two Tottenham players on him, Johnson and Pedro Porro together, and Grealish eventually gives it back to Mykolenko and then to Keane, and Keane swirls a pass out to this right hand side where Njai, he's got two Tottenham players on him. Back to O'Brien, his cross in, that's headed away by Porro, comes out to Keane, who gets the ball under control, gives it back to Dewsbury Hall, his cross towards the back post, that's headed away again for Tottenham. Now Njai turns, sets off into the penalty area, and then gets the cross over to the back post, overhead kick, oh what a save by Vicario! Beto in the middle, must have been sure he would score with that overhead kick, and somehow Vicario kept it out on the line. A sprawling stop that denied Everton a goal, and it's still 2-0 Tottenham.
Oh, this is outstanding. What a save it is from Vicario. Again, it's brilliant play on the right-hand side. The delivery comes in, and it's behind Beto. He has to overhead kick it. You think it's going to go in the back of the net, and Vicario comes from somewhere to claw it off the line. It's outstanding from him.
It's a kind of star jump save, wasn't it? After Beto was slightly behind him, played it down, bounced into the ground, and just a reaction save on the line, all arms and legs.
Yeah, great reaction. I think it sort of hits Beto's shin, doesn't it? But it just throws out that left arm. Superb from Vicario.
Seemed a certain goal, didn't it, when Beto made contact with it, but the goalkeeper did the job after the saves that he made in Monaco.
Yeah, I think you thought Everton were going to come out with a real intensity, committing players forward, but it is leaving space for Spurs on the counter.
And here they come now, down the right-hand side, Johnson with a cross, but there's only Kolo Muani in the middle, and he was nowhere near the path of the cross as Spence forces the throw in off O'Brien, who was challenging him. Everton 0, Tottenham 2. For 5 Live listeners, the lines are open for 606. We heard from both of them at half-time, Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton together. So 08 085 909 693, and calls are free from mobiles and landlines on that number, 08 085 909 693, if you're on your way back from one of the earlier matches, or indeed already back. Throw in for Tottenham. Danso to take this, so it's the long throw again, the long throw routine, this time from the left-hand side. Again, Pickford is being crowded. Here he comes, Danso. It's a loopy one, this, to the near post. It's missed, actually, by Njai, but cleared away by Beto, who was behind him, and the ball bounces out of play for a throw-in to Tottenham nearer the halfway line. 2-0 it is. We've talked about the steeply banked stands. I'm just watching one Everton fan who's puffing a bit as he gets up towards the third back row and is making his way to his seat there. Good test, isn't it?
You certainly get your steps in,
get your steps in and get the old cardio going. Back with Vicario, passes it out to Van de Ven, and a long pass from Van de Ven, who's on a hat-trick, we should point out. Long pass up to Kolo Muani, who committed a foul. Ironic cheers from the Everton supporters. Tarkowski taps it to Keane. Jordan Pickford comes out. I suppose it'll be a discussion, won't it, whether Pickford should have been stronger against Van de Ven in the conceding of the second goal.
I think he should. We watched it again at half-time, didn't we? And yeah, he's got to come out and punch that. He just gets a little tiny nudge off Van de Ven, which I think puts him off. But yeah, he's got to be better. He'll know that as well.
Not easy, though, in that crowded, packed penalty area. Situations like that, but it will be said after coming back. We spoke to him during the World Cup qualifiers. 9 clean sheets in a row now for England, so that is a new England record for a goalkeeper, keeping 9 clean sheets in a row. Tottenham are going to make a couple of changes. Richarlison is preparing to come on, and Bergvall as well. So it looks as though it's going to be Tottenham who are going to be first to make the changes. And I suppose Everton are having more of the game. Here's Dewsbury Hall, couldn't find the pass through. That was intercepted, cut out well by that man, Van de Ven. He's very much in line for the Man of the Match award at the moment, as Seamans brings it forward. Xavi Seamans, then Kudus with the attempted pass. He might have been caught late there by Garner. He was. That's been brought back by referee Pawson. Free kick, and he's actually got the yellow card out for the Everton midfielder James Garner.
Yeah, and he had to put the challenge in. Everton were caught out of a shape. They committed men forward, and straight away Spurs went from back to front so quickly, and he had to come across Garner and put the challenge in, and it is a foul.
Yeah, and it's going to be a free kick in a good position, isn't it?
Yeah, really good position.
Centrally, less than 25 yards out. I don't think that Thomas Frank is going to make the changes quite yet, but Richarlison coming on. Richarlison, who has scored in all 3 visits to Everton, obviously all of them at Goodison Park, as an opposition player, and 4 goals in those 3 appearances for Tottenham and for Watford before he actually became an Everton player. And in all, Richarlison has 5 goals in 7 appearances against Everton. So if he's able to continue that in the new stadium, then Tottenham will surely win. They're 2-0 up as it is, and they've got this free kick chance. And Pedro Porro is doing his best to make it look like he's the one who is going to take this, but it could be Kudus with the left foot. As to say, it is very central. It's 2 strides outside the D, 2 big strides actually. Pedro Porro then is ready. They've got the man lying down behind the wall. Porro takes his steps back, shrugs his shoulders, deep breath from him, and Kudus then comes up. He takes it hits the top of the wall, and it's behind for a corner. Didn't have me fooled, Sue.
No, not at all, it didn't. I think it just took maybe a glance off Jack Grealish's head from the wall, jumps up and he puts it out for a corner, but it was a really decent position. I do think that Tottenham need to make those changes look a little bit quiet, don't they?
They do, yeah. They've been a little bit too passive, but there again they've also carried the threat on the counter-attack. but it is a corner again. So the first corner of the second half, when Tottenham was so effective, scoring both of their goals from corners in the first period. Kudos to take this. So all eyes on the back post, you would have thought. Here he comes, left-footed. It is to the back post, but it's over the top of Bentancur, just fractionally. But actually that's one of the poorer deliveries, and it is a goal kick. The referee's just calling over Jordan Pickford, who speaks to the referee, puts his palms out. Discussion continues between the two of them. Referee Pawson just puts his hand on Pickford's midriff and then sends him away. What do you think?
Yeah, it's quite interesting whether he's saying that on the corners there's a little bit too much physicality on him and he can't quite get out. It looked like Tarkowski had just gone in front of him, trying to protect him, trying to push those players away from him. But yeah, Jordan was just making the officials know, I think.
So Lucas Bergvall and Richarlison. And mild booing for Richarlison, but he was a bit of a favourite here, Sue, as we were discussing before the match.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. They loved him. So yeah, it's maybe because he keeps scoring goals against them. Yeah, he's got a great record, hasn't he? He's gone straight into that number 9 position.
Yeah, Richarlison, 28 years old now, who actually made 152 appearances for Everton and scored 53 goals, which is not a bad return.
He's very good. I actually like Richarlison a little bit better off the wide areas, left-hand side. But he's playing very central here.
And of course, they made £60 million when they sold him to Tottenham. So that wasn't bad either.
No, decent business.
Certainly at the time for Everton.
Yeah, they needed to, and he's had his injury troubles, hasn't he?
He has. Everton 0, Tottenham 2. What about Kolo Muani, who's been substituted? So Kolo Muani and Simons off, with Bergvall and Richarlison coming on. His full debut, Kolo Muani, what do you think? Yeah,
I think he showed glimpses, hasn't he? Glimpses of quality where he's been able to hold the ball up and play players in. He had a lovely little flick early on in the first half. But yeah, quiet, I should say. But I think Tottenham, from an attacking perspective, they've not really looked that fluid. And Siemens is still getting up to speed, isn't he? A little bit, giving the ball away too much.
Yep, the Dutch international. I'll never forget the goal that he scored in the semi-final of the Euros against England in Dortmund, when the Dutch were 1-0 up, Ronald Koeman's Dutch. And, that shows what he is capable of.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a change for Everton as well. And it looks as though Thierno Barry is going to come on, the untried, really, French under-21 international, so one would assume that will be Barry for Beto.
Yeah, and I think David Moyes can't decide who is his best number 9, so yeah, it'll just be a like-for-like swap. I think another option could have been to have maybe played in a false 9. Could you have brought Diblin on or Alcaraz on or something like that, but it's not a David Moyes way of playing. He likes that focal point up top, that presence.
It says it all that Beto and Barry together have got one Premier League goal between them this season in what will now be 18 combined Premier League appearances. So that tells you where Everton are short. So it is Everton with the ball, the Tottenham fans making themselves heard, celebrating what by every minute that goes by looks as though it's going to be another victory away from home. Pedro Porro passing it forward. Richarlison now chasing after it. Stretch with Tarkowski. It's bounced nicely for Richarlison, who shoots and Pickford makes the save. Point blank range. Pickford came out. Richarlison got the better of Tarkowski, but Pickford was quickly out, and from probably only 2 or 3 yards away from him, made the save.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to score again. Tarkowski gets caught in possession. Richarlison manages to get round him. It's just a long ball forward. He's up 1v1 with Tarkowski. He's in a good position, should just clear it. He heads it towards goal. Jordan Pickford does brilliant, comes out quickly, just narrows the angle down, makes it difficult for Richarlison.
Well, I was at Old Trafford yesterday and I saw Danny Welbeck score again against Manchester United. And it looked as though Richarlison was going to do the same against his former club. However, it is a corner and the danger is all too obvious and too clear. Tottenham with a corner. Kudus to take it into the near post. That's headed away by Beto, still on the field. Might be his last contribution. Bergvall comes across and he lifts the pass out towards the far side, and then it's deflected out of play by Garner. And I think we will now see the substitution. And actually, I think as well as Barry coming on, I think they're going to make another change as well, and it's Merlin Röhl who's going to come on also for what will be only his third appearance for Everton. Offside flag against Bergvall, so I think we'll see the changes now. We weren't necessarily expecting Merlin Röhl to be coming on.
No, I presume he'll go into those midfield areas. He's good technical player. He's suffered a little bit with injury, but yeah, the Barry Beto one's just going to be a like for like swap.
Beto's replacement, number 11, Tierno Barry.
So Beto leaves the field.
Everton's second substitution, please show your appreciation this time for number 15, Jake O'Brien.
So Jake O'Brien.
And Jake's replacement,
I think James Garner's probably going to go to right back.
He is. Yeah, that's exactly what has happened. So the number 34, the German under-21 international. Last time I saw him live, he was coming on as a substitute in the under-21 Euros final. Everton coming forward as Dewsbury Hall looked to square it across the penalty area, and then a foul on Idris again. It's a free kick to Everton out towards the left-hand side, halfway inside the Tottenham half.
Oh, he had to hit it there, Mikalenko. It's really good play from Everton. Falls to Mikalenko, who's come inside. Jack Grealish is staying as wide as he possibly can, and he goes to just play it back across goal. Could have just hit that first time with his left foot.
Set piece situation though. The score, Everton 0, Tottenham 2. You've just switched on. This is 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Sue Smith sitting to my right, actually probably about 3 feet to my right, in the slightly unusual commentary position configuration at the new stadium. We're social distancing, aren't we? Free kick.
I thought it was something I'd said.
We haven't got any choice. The seats are fixed. Right, Grealish is, in fact, Dewsbury Hall takes this deep towards the back post, headed out, comes down to Njai, he lifts it across the box, then Richarlison's able to head it away. Grealish, though, is able to pick up possession of the ball. He's up against Pedro Porro, takes it into the air, lays it back towards the edge of the area, Garner with a shot, and that's deflected wide of the goal. In fact, they're saying, Tottenham, that it didn't take a deflection, and referee Pawson has corrected his decision, I suspect, and said it's a goal kick. And Everton are less than impressed by that. And Garner actually kicks the ball away in frustration. Yeah, but it is a goal kick.
Yeah, I can understand why they're baffled. Jack Grealish does well on the left-hand side, keeps it alive, plays the ball into Garner, who's in the inside of the area, hits it first time. Does it take a deflection off Bergvall? It's hard to see, isn't it, from here? Garner was absolutely adamant that was the case.
I think there was also a shout for whether possibly Tarkowski was fouled inside the box, which VAR might be having a look at. But play hasn't been stopped. Tottenham still 2-0 up here, as they were at half-time. And the ball's out for a throw into Everton in their own right-back position. Match of the day tonight, BBC One for all of the highlights. Search Football Daily as well on the BBC Sounds app. The Premier League review with Rick Edwards and guests will be on there tonight, so search Football Daily for that. And also, I know that the programme about Scott McTominay's time in Napoli is on there as well, and it was in my mind because did you see the excellent goal that McTominay scored last night?
Brilliant.
Against Inter? I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
One of the best goals one of the best strikes I've seen this season. It was like Van Basten.
Yes, so clean, wasn't it?
It was superb. So search BBC Sounds for that. He's having what a time he's having there. Tottenham with the ball inside their own defensive third. Well played from Bentancur again. Impressed again. The rain now is coming on more heavily than at any point during the course of the afternoon, and the referee spotted an infringement, and it's a free kick to Tottenham halfway inside their own half. So we've got, well, less than a quarter of the match to play, Sue, and Tottenham still have you have to call it a comfortable lead.
Yeah, I don't think, even though Everton have probably looked the better of the two sides, they are going for that equaliser. Not really created enough, have they? They've not tested Vicario enough. It's been a bit predictable at times, getting the ball out wide, getting deliveries into the box, and Van de Ven and Danzo have just cleared everything.
Yeah, chance I suppose was Beto's overhead kick, which was his best moment of the match, but kept out well by Vicario. And I suppose that flick as well from Njai early in the half. It's a throw in to Tottenham from the right, and such is the swirling nature of the wind in this rain. Even though we are well out, under the cover of the roof, we can feel the moisture which is being blown right up here into our faces. Throw in for Tottenham, long one from Danso, headed away by Mikalenko, comes back into the box. Keane wasn't certain there, headed it away. Mikalenko was able to head it further away, and I think Everton have dealt with it. They have. It's played up towards Grealish, who's then fouled. And that could be a yellow card for Bentancur, and it is the yellow card is held eventually by referee Pawson, and I presume it's Bentancur is booked.
Yeah,
or did he book someone from kicking the ball away?
He might have booked Jack Grealish for appealing. I actually think it should have been Bentancur because Everton were on the break, but I think he might have booked Jack Grealish for his appeal. Bentancur comes in. And
do you think there might have been an imaginary yellow card there?
Just for the appeal.
Or the appeal, maybe the language used. Yeah, I think it was Grealish, not Bentancur. And Bentancur could easily have been booked for that.
Oh, yeah, because Everton were on the break. I think that's what Jack Grealish was trying to say. He just spun out. There was an option to the right-hand side, and Njai.
Well, again, that's debatable. And I think in the new outlets that have sprung up around the Hill Dickinson Stadium, I think they'll be talking about Craig Pawson and his performance here. And here's Bergvall jumping for it centre field. It's brought down by Röhl. And now Njai, the Everton number 10, carrying the ball forward, still going. Bergvall putting in the challenge. It's played back to him by Barry. And now Njai again, nicely done to Grealish. Grealish in the box, then back to Njai, left foot shot deflected. Oh, well saved, Vicario. The deflection and the reaction there. I think he was going the wrong way, and he readjusted and pushed it round the post.
Honestly, Vicario's been outstanding again. 2 brilliant saves. Again, it's good play from Everton and Njai with the shot, but it's good play initially from, I think it's Jack Grealish, isn't it? Plays the ball into Njai. It's a first time shot, but that deflection off Danzo, wrong foot's Vicario, but he's still able to get down and make the save.
Well, double deflection actually.
It was.
Yeah, 2 of the Tottenham players. Danzo being the last. Here's the corner into the 6-yard box. Keane stretching, no. Cleared away by Tottenham. And then Gay throws himself at the ball. Shouts are that he was caught there by Kudus. Referee's ignoring that. Tarkowski. Gay still down inside the box. Everton with Grealish, played out to Garner on the left-hand side. Grealish again. Everton trying to find that one goal that will get them back into this match. And then it's out of play for a throw, and the referee says, hang on a moment. VAR, I think, are talking to him about Kudus' challenge that sent Idrissa Gueye flying inside the penalty area. So this is a big moment. I'm not sure this will be given as a penalty.
I don't think it will. Idrissa Gueye's going for the ball. It's up against Kudus. They're both going for the ball. Idrissa Gueye just jumps and falls over, basically. It's definitely not a penalty.
No. Again, if anything, it's Idrissa Gueye jumping into Kudus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's dismissed. Still 2-0 Tottenham. Long throw for Everton. Flicked on at the near post. Bounces to Idrissa Gueye, who shoots, and it's blocked by the Tottenham player. I think it was Palhinha who was in the line of fire there. Yes, it was. He's getting all the low fives. And such was the effectiveness of the block. It actually went at right angles out for a throw-in, which Everton have taken and played all the way back to Pickford.
Yeah, well, they're certainly putting their bodies on the line, aren't they, Tottenham? It was Palhinha that time. Good strike from Idrissa Gueye, and Palhinha just throws himself at it.
So, Everton 0, Tottenham 2 remains the score. Tottenham under Thomas Frank have lost just the 2 matches, and they've both been at home. The 1-0 defeat against Bournemouth back in August, and the 2-1 defeat last weekend against Aston Villa. So this away form, I mean, technically they lost away from home on penalties in the UEFA Super Cup in Udine, but that was in fact neutral territory. So very effective away from London. And here's Bergvall playing it to Spence, and they've held out well against some Everton pressure. I mean, they've played well, Everton.
They have. It's just that final bit, down. Isn't it? Yeah. Well, even now, bringing Röhl on, they've gone that little bit more attacking. There's only Idrissa Gueye as that protector. Röhl's more of an attacking midfielder with Dewsbury Hall.
Yes, as Garner plays it up from his now right-back position to Dewsbury Hall. His challenge, Bentancur again. Bentancur and Palhinha have caught the eye again. Good combination.
Yeah, they just screen the back line so well, don't they? Get across the pitch well. Bentancur will break forward a little bit more.
There's only 15 minutes to play, so we're probably about 20 minutes away from 6:06 on 5 Live, taking a call as Dewsbury Hall plays it through for Barry. Couldn't get there. Vicario is out quickly. Vicario, who, it should be noted, has now made 2 very good saves in the second half.
Really important saves, but again, Dewsbury Hall, maybe just the wrong decision there. He's just on the edge of the box. Test the goalkeeper. He tries to play it through to Barry, and because it's a wet surface, just runs straight through to the keeper.
It was confirmed, by the way, on our Magic Premier League app that Jack Grealish was booked for dissent. So 08085 909 693 to book your call on the UK's most popular football phone-in on a Sunday night with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. 08085 909 693. You can text at the standard message rate 85058 or get in touch on hashtag BBC 606 as Garner plays the ball back towards the edge of the area. More live football commentaries on 5 Live and Sports Extra Tuesday and Wednesday night from the Carabao Cup. We'll have many of the matches covered. Ball played forward for Everton. Barry takes that down very nicely just outside the D. Left foot shot deflected up and wide of the top corner. Puts his hands on his head, but it's a corner to Everton.
Oh, what a touch this is from Barry. It's a long diagonal ball from the back, and it's coming up from the air, and he just brings it down with so much quality. But then his shot's just deflected over.
Tottenham change. Kudus.
Replacement number 29, Pape Matasor.
So that tells its own story, doesn't it? Kudus coming off and Pape Sarr into the midfield.
Yeah, just trying to outnumber Everton in those midfield areas and a little bit more defensive. We know that Pape Sarr's got so much energy, will go box to box, and that'll be Tottenham's best opportunity to score.
Here he comes, the number 29, the Senegal international. He'll be at the World Cup, all being well. 4th match in a row that he's come on as a substitute. Just can't get in with Palhinha and Bentancur in there. So Everton corner. We're into the last 15 minutes. Tottenham winning 2-0. And in it goes, then headed away by Bentancur at the near post. Then back into the box. Jed Spence heads it away. Richarlison tries to nod it further away, only to Idrissa Gueye. And so Dewsbury Hall curls a low pass with good pace to Grealish. Again, Tottenham. So often with Grealish, Tottenham have had 2 men on him. Back it comes to Dewsbury Hall. Left-footed ball, flighted in, but headed up and over by the arriving James Garner, I think it was, who got to it. Couldn't keep it down. And it is, in fact, it was Röhl with the header, and it's over the top, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, and that's what Everton keep trying to do, get the ball out wide, get deliveries into the box. But, like I say, the 2 centre-backs of Tottenham Hotspur have been brilliant. They've cleared everything. They've made it difficult. Röhl made a good run, tried to get in between the defenders. He gets up well, but Van de Ven puts enough pressure on him.
So, goal kick to Tottenham. Everton facing defeat in their 6th League and Cup match here in the new stadium. Richarlison from the goal kick heads it forward, but Tarkowski is able to recover, and under pressure from Sarr heads it back to Pickford. Everton playing it out from the back. Tarkowski and Idrissa Gueye. Michael Keane now, with all of the experience that these two have. Keane and Tarkowski, both 32 years old, both England internationals. Now the ball finds its way to Njai, and Njai socks down. They're the socks down 3, aren't they? Njai, Dewsbury Hall and Grealish. Back to Garner, his ball in, only half headed away, but it won't fall to Grealish, just touched away. Keane though is able to play it forward to Mikalenko, who was stretching in the end. It does roll out of play off Johnson for a throw in to Everton. Still that rain sweeps over the roof of the stand and into the stadium here. Time running out for Everton, just 10 minutes to go. And the referee is just pointing to, 3 or 4 Tottenham players on the edge of the area. Tarkowski standing in front of Vicario. Vicario pushes him away, still waiting for the throw. Still the pushing continues. Here comes the throw into the Tottenham box, comes off Richarlison's head, could have gone anywhere. It's headed away by Danso though, and then cleared further away. Back to James Garner of Everton. Now Grealish again, goes for an early pass to Dewsbury Hall. Then a nice ball to Mykolenko. Mykolenko back to Grealish. Brennan Johnson in front of him. Grealish drops a shoulder, goes infield, then beats Johnson, then takes on Porro. He goes down, back, keeps his feet. Grealish still going, left-footed cross. Vicario dives fist first and is able to punch it away back into the full-back position where Porro and Grealish jostle for the ball, and it's put out of play for an Everton throw.
I don't know how Jack Grealish kept hold of the ball. He's got 2 or 3 players around him. You think he's lost it, just keeps going, and then he just tries to whip it across the face of goal. And yes, Superman Vicario, wasn't it? Punches it away.
It's really reminiscent of the Jack Grealish that we saw more the style at Aston Villa, isn't it, when he was captain of Villa before his £100 million move to Manchester City. It's a corner actually for Everton, which is taken into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Danso, Van de Ven's gone down as well. Idrissa Gueye allows the ball to go out of play for another throw to Everton. Both of the Tottenham central defenders. Danso's still rubbing his head, but they're back on their feet and play continues. Everton take the throw back towards the halfway line. Mykolenko flights one into the box. That's headed back by Tarkowski. Keane is onto this. Keane, both central defenders together for Everton in the Tottenham box. Grealish back towards the edge of the area. Röhl does well to keep possession under pressure from Bergvall. And now it finds its way out to the right-hand side to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall goes back centrally, middle of the half. Mykolenko, a heavy touch, and he was quickly closed down. And as the challenge came in on him, actually, final touch was off Bentancur, and the ball just spun away well wide of the goal and behind for another Everton corner.
It was actually a poor touch from Mykolenko. The ball comes into him, he's centrally, big touch out of his feet, which meant Bentancur could go across and make the challenge. Ends up getting a corner, though, from it.
Former England international Sue Smith with us here high in the stands on the western side of the stadium, watching this Everton corner, which is played into the 6-yard box, headed away by Danso, well defended by Tottenham. It's been the difference, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That Tottenham have been able to defend the Everton corners. Everton weren't able to defend those 2 Tottenham corners. Conceded the goals. Bergvall plays it forward, but that will just give possession back to Everton, or it should, as Idrissa Gueye plays it back to Pickford. So yes, the lines are open. 08 085 909 693 to talk to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton tonight on what's been a very eventful day of football. Long and forward for Barry, who turns as well actually to take it away from Danso down into the full back position. Barry looks to cross and actually looks to win the corner, which he's succeeded in doing, although Danso's saying it bounced back onto the Everton man, but the corner's been given.
He's done so much better than Beto since he's come on the field. His touches look good, he's been positive, trying to run at his man, and yeah, he's just won a corner for his team there because of the hard work that he's put in.
So we're in the 84th minute now here. You can't miss that on these absolutely massive rectangular screens high above the goals at both ends. Here's the corner, which is way over the top of Vicario, who ends up on the ground, headed away though by Richarlison, and Idrissa Gueye goes down under the minimal contact from Richarlison and wins the free kick. He was looking for it and he got it. So it's a free kick out on the right wing. Richarlison was coming in, Idrissa Gueye knew he was coming, waited for the contact and then went sprawling down. So there was contact and it is a free kick. Well, it's getting to the stage where 2-0 down, Everton need one of these to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, they absolutely do. But Tottenham have dealt with the delivery so well.
Carlos Alcaraz is going to be sent on by David Moyes presently, but first the free kick. Dewsbury Hall left-footed in swinger. Vicario comes and gets a punch on it out to Grealish, who's able to take it down, and then as the Tottenham defenders come out, curls it to Garner. Garner's ball in, that's headed away on the edge of the area by Van de Ven. 2-goal Van de Ven, who's now got 5 this season. He is Tottenham's leading scorer, the captain, in the absence of Romero. Now on the right, ball in from Dewsbury Hall, that's headed away. Back to Garner again. James Garner. And Jai backs away and then sets off with the ball at his feet. Plays it back to Garner, whose cross is charged down by Richarlison, and Richarlison's chasing after this. And now Richarlison reaches it on the halfway line. He's not got another Tottenham shirt within 30 yards of him, and he's dispossessed by Mykolenko, who then gives it away, hence the groans from the Everton supporters. And Tottenham with Bentancur, excellent play from Bentancur, the Uruguayan, knowing that the challengers are coming in, was able to roll, play it forward into the path of Porro, who won a free kick on the halfay line. And David Moyes makes this next change. Idrissa Gueye
for number 27, Idrissa Gana Gueye
is withdrawn, and on comes Carlos Alcaraz.
Replacement number 24.
This is a real attacking change, isn't it? I'm not sure who's going to sit in that midfield area now.
Well, I presume it will.
Maybe Brill.
I guess it'll probably have to be. So he's got Alcaraz, Rowe, Dewsbury Hall and G.I., Grealish and Barry all on the field.
He's going for it, he has to. Last few moments of the game, they need to score now, don't they, if they're going to get anything from the game.
And it's been an agonising one for Everton. You know, they've just kept knocking on the door. Vicario's made the saves. Van de Ven and Danso have been a very good pair in central defence. I mean, they defended well as a team, haven't they, with Palhinha and Bentancur. And here's Sarr now running it away for Tottenham, and then in comes the challenge, which was a free kick. Röhl sliding in, caught Sarr, free kick to Tottenham on the halfway line, and with 3.5 minutes of the 90 to play, Tottenham will be on the go slow here.
Yeah, they will. I think what Thomas Frank said to Sarr when he's come on is make sure that you get in and around Richarlison, try and support him when we go forward, but get yourself back into those midfield areas and defend and make it tight. That's exactly what he's done.
With this victory, if it is to be a victory, Tottenham will be going up to third in the Premier League. So they'll be splitting the big two, Sue, of Bournemouth and Sunderland, who are currently second and third in the table. Arsenal, after their win, are 4 points clear. Sarr breaks forward, tries to square it for Bergvall, but defenders were back, both Tarkowski and Keane. And actually the offside flag, I think, went up.
Yeah, I think it did. Tarkowski and Keane do brilliant. They're so brave, because as the ball comes in, there's players coming into them and they just manage to get their body in the way, but it was offside anyway.
Yeah. And again, another one of those scenarios where the two of them could have cannoned into one another.
Yeah.
And Bergvall, the post was there as well, I think. I think both of them collided together and slid into the post. And then the offside flag goes up. So Everton now, in the 88th minute, facing defeat here for the first time in the Premier League. They will have wanted David Moyes to keep this going as long as possible, but it looks here towards the end of October that they're going to be beaten for the first time. Bergvall, then into Sarr, nice economically, a couple of touches, gives it to Porro, who's coming forward, not at full tilt. Porro's cross towards Richarlison, who heads it across the box, and it's headed in by Sarr, and that's 3-0, and that confirms it. Tottenham will be winning this, and Everton will be beaten here in the Premier League for the first time in their new stadium. Simple as that. Well played, Tottenham. They've soaked up all of the pressure, and now it's Everton 0, Tottenham 3.
Yeah, they have, and that's exactly what you thought could potentially happen. Everton will be out of shape because they're trying to get themselves back into the game, because they made so many attacking substitutions, and when Tottenham go forward, they went forward and they were clinical. Sarr with a header. Since he's come on, that's what they've been asked to do. Get yourself in the box when we go forward, get yourself back into midfield, and it's just a good break from Tottenham. They go from back to front so quickly, and Everton just can't cope.
Sarr, the goal scorer, 3-0 to Tottenham, and that sparks a mass exodus. I've been told that this is not the easiest stadium to get away from, and therefore thousands and thousands of Everton fans are now leaving the ground and trying to steal a march on everyone else. But disappointing, very disappointing scoreline certainly for Everton. They've just not been able to produce the end product.
No, they haven't, and that's exactly what Tottenham just did there. Good delivery from Porro on the right-hand side. Richarlison heads it back across goal, and Sarr's there to put it in the net. Everton just haven't been able to do that.
No, and so Tottenham will be third in the league tonight and continue unbeaten away from home in League and Cup this season, and indeed during the time of Thomas Frank's spell in charge. Still very, very early days for Thomas Frank after all of those years at Brentford, as I think we're going to see 5 minutes of added time.
The fourth official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time.
And
5 minutes.
And Matisse Tell is going to come on as well for the final moments of the match. But it's gone now for Everton, Sue.
Yeah, it is, and I think Everton will be disappointed first of all to concede from 2 set pieces. The third one could have always potentially happened because they were trying to get themselves back in the game. But yeah, just probably not done enough in an attacking sense. Good saves from Vicario, but probably should have created more.
And it's the Tottenham fans singing of how they are, in their eyes, champions of Europe, certainly champions of the Europa League, the trophy last season under Ange Postecoglou in Bilbao against Manchester United. Tell not onto the field yet, and we are into those 5 minutes of added time. Everton 0, Tottenham 3, 5 Live on the World Service from the BBC, as Tottenham play it downfield and Pickford is able to pass it forward to James Garner. Remember, search Football Daily tonight on the BBC Sounds app for the Premier League review, and you can always listen again to the live radio via BBC Sounds. That's one of the beauties of it, as Tottenham with Pedro Porro heading the ball back to Vicario. But this is an excellent job done by Tottenham on what was an inhospitable day weather-wise here, right next to the River Mersey in the stadium, but they've done a proper job on Everton. Thomas Frank's Tottenham here, as the ball is slid out of play for a throw into Tottenham, level with the edge of the Everton penalty area, and we will now see that change, and it's going to be the man who scored the winning goal in the final, Brennan Johnson, who is going to be replaced by Matthijs Tel for the final 3 minutes of the match.
Yeah, and he'll probably go over onto that right hand side. They obviously have options, don't they? Richarlison can play out wide as well, but yeah, I just think from a Tottenham perspective, they've been good defensively, haven't they? Everything that Everton have thrown at them, whether it's the keeper, whether it's the 2 centre-backs, they've managed to clear it, and then they've just been effective of what they're good at set pieces, good deliveries into the box.
So what should we be thinking of Thomas Frank's Tottenham this season, do you think?
I think they're a team evolving, aren't they? I think he's come in and it's obviously a completely different style to Ange Postecoglou, and he's just tried to make them solid, well organised, be good at those sort of things, set pieces, can go direct if they need to. But yeah, I think he'll try and evolve the style and the creativity going forward, and that'll help when players come back, and I suppose those players that have come in, when they adapt even more.
They'll be wanting to finish in the top 4 this season, certainly after finishing 17th last season. That would be quite a rise in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course they'll want to finish higher than that, and you can't see that happening again. They had so many injuries last season, didn't they? And if they can keep players fit and available, there's no reason why they can't finish up there. I'm not sure whereabouts, but certainly up there challenging.
And the possibility maybe of another cup. That would have to be on the agenda for Thomas Frank, as Paulinho wins a free kick in the central third, although they've got a tough match on Wednesday night away at Newcastle, so that against the holders in the Carabao Cup. That'll be one of our commentaries on 5 Live or Sports Extra on Wednesday evening. I think that will be on Sports Extra, actually. Liverpool Crystal Palace is going to be the 5 Live match on Wednesday night, as it's played forward. As I was saying in the first half, really they should have won the UEFA Super Cup against PSG before eventually losing on a penalty shootout. Ball played forward, but Pickford's going to be able to deal with that, overarms it out. But I mean, the stadium now is probably a fifth full. There are empty blue seats everywhere, apart from in the Tottenham section. They've never had to get away from the stadium before.
I was going to say, I think we'll get away all right.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think there are going to be any dangers in that department. We will bring you the live interviews that we can. David Moyes and Thomas Frank during the course of 606 on 5 Live. Lines are open, 08 085 909 693 if you've been out watching a match this weekend. I don't know if they did get any Truro City fans on last night after the long journey, so if you're recovering from that, give Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton a call and let them know. Here is Garner, who plays it square to Alcaraz. His pass through the middle takes a deflection. Spence slices it up in the air. Barry goes for it. Danso's able to head it back despite that to goalkeeper Vicario, who certainly has played his part in the second half. 5 minutes are up of added time, so there is the final whistle. Yeah, what a good day for Tottenham this is. Boos from the few home supporters who remain inside the stadium. Probably the first chorus of boos that there has been inside this ground for Everton, losing in a competitive match here in their new stadium for the first time, their 6th match in either league or cup, and it is slightly worrying for Everton, a 4th loss in their last 6 matches in all competitions. But Tottenham go from strength to strength, certainly away from home, Sue.
Yeah, absolutely, and fantastic set pieces, brilliant delivery, excellent headers from Van der Ven. David Moyes will be really disappointed to concede from 2 set pieces. I think from an Everton perspective, probably just didn't do enough. You know, they had quite a bit of the ball, they got the ball out wide, they got deliveries into the box, but just didn't challenge the goalkeeper, and when they did, he produced 2 fantastic saves. So yeah, you would say Tottenham deserved that overall.
Yeah, they've been strong.
Yeah.
That's the word I would use, strong. Mickey van der Ven in the first half scoring the 2 goals following corners, and then that late third by Pap Sarr. So Tottenham go above Liverpool, they go above Manchester United, they go above Sunderland on goal difference, and if you look at your Premier League table now, they are 3rd in the table. Tottenham, the first visiting team to beat Everton here in a competitive match. Sue Smith, thank you very much for your company.
Thank you, John.
Yes, we'll make our way out into the night here. As I say, you'll hear from David Moyes and from Thomas Frank during the course of 606, and the lines are open now, 08 085 909 693 to join in the conversation with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Monday night clubs on 5 Live Sport. Tomorrow night 5 Live Cricket as well continues to count down to the Ashes, and as I say, there will be Carabao Cup commentaries on Tuesday and Wednesday night, and this is not an end to the live sport today, by the way. The Mexican Grand Prix will be on 5 Live tonight from 7:45 after 606, and the NFL Denver Broncos against Dallas Cowboys will be on Sports Extra from 8 o'clock. But as the Tottenham players go over to their jubilant supporters in one corner of the Hill Dickinson Stadium, we'll hand it across to 606 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage.